We're in the garage. That electric receptacle outlet right there is GFCI protected. This one on the ceiling is not. That one has already been tripped. Moving along, we're in the northeast corner of the garage. This is the water heater. It has a safety pan. Safety pan goes outside, terminates closer to the ground than 3 inches. We do have a care and use manual. We do have an air vacuum gap from the main drain. We have a gas sediment trap, escutcheon plate. Water heater is 1 year old and 50 gallons, manufactured in 2020. So we don't see we do not see a green tag where a permit was pulled for this. The water supply lines next to the tank should be insulated, should have been insulated. The temperature pressure relief valve should have been insulated. That's about all that's, and we're missing an escutcheon plate through there. That's about all that's wrong with it, just some incidentals, to be honest. But that's the water heater, 1 year old. We got a crack in the garage floor across here. That's pretty typical. This door has a spring on it, but it has been adjusted so that it doesn't work. So if a fire is in the garage, there's nothing to keep the fire from walking in. It's just a matter of adjusting the spring. This is the garage door our operator control button, and it's high enough and it's illuminated, but we do not have a safety notice posted next to it. A safety notice should be posted on that. And we're coming down. There's a pull handle. There's the safety reverse. The optic sensors are not supposed to be farther from the driveway than 6 inches. We do not have a warning notice posted on the door. Some people call it a squash sticker, I do. We do not have spring tension notices posted on each corner of the door. The manual door lock has not been decommissioned to prevent accidental damage to the door. So if somebody was to lock this door and somebody else was to come home and push the button in the car, the remote, then we could cause damage to the door because that door was inadvertently locked. So the story goes. Coming along here. This is the GFCI for the garage. Probably for the exterior too. Right here. This is the lawn sprinkler control box, and we're on the west interior wall. It's a little difficult getting around here. We've got instructions, but we do not have a care and use. Excuse me. We've got instructions, but we do not have the zones, stations, if you will. The zones are not labeled, and we do not have a care and use manual. Excuse me. We do not have a weather sensor. And the zones are not labeled. And it's not on a GFCI either. It was pretty typical for the architecture when this was built, but it's still a fact. There isn't any GFCI here, and there isn't any GFCI there. This is the electric service panel, and what else was not required when this home was built was arc fault. So there's no arc fault in here. This is called bundling. Bundling. These holes, these knockouts are for L1 and L2. These are for this, and we don't know when this is going to come in, where it's going to come in, so we have knockouts around. Now all these individual circuits, we have individual knockouts. You're not supposed to bring more than 2 cables in at a time. It's convenient, I get that. Real convenient. And it's common. It's at my house. My house is not for sale. You shouldn't have to live like me. Every house in this neighborhood is like that. Coming on along, this cable is in direct contact with the dead front cover. It shouldn't be the case. So the cable's too close. We have bundling. It was screwed in. Screws are fast and tight. I get that. Alright? But they're supposed to be nailed in. Nails have much more shear strength than screws. So if this structure was to experience a tornado, for example, the odds of this panel staying in place would be much greater if it would have been properly nailed into place instead of screwed into place. And then coming along here, then this is your main neutral. It's wrapped with a white tape. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. This is for your air conditioning system right here. That white hot, that should be wrapped with black tape. Now, if anybody doesn't know that's hot, they don't belong in this panel. I get that too, but there should be black tape on there. It is what it is. And these are called neutrals. And these are grounds. And neutrals are not supposed to be double lugged. And we go right up in here. You see that one right there? See that one right there? That's a double lug right there. All they had to do is move it up to one of these. You got plenty of room to do it right. So, and that's about it. Oh no, that's not it. That's not it. Thought I'd make some noise. You're supposed to have duplicity. There's the secondary register. It's empty. There's your primary. Is that empty? Is my camera picking up something my eyes don't? Yep, it's empty. And it's supposed to be printed. Printed like Syntex Homes right here. That's printed. Not hand printed. Not hand printed. These are not supposed to be hand printed. These are supposed to be printed. And storage, more storage, extra storage.